No time like the present. Only 7 minutes late. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Under Construction. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. With me I have Lafayette. He's curled up in a little ball over there. He's a good boy. Other than that, it's just me. It's going to be a very lonely episode of Under Construction. Because I don't have Gloria to come in here and, I don't know, do what she does. But anyway, let's give a minute for the people to filter in. It is Thursday, right? Man, this week has felt weird. Every day has felt like the day after it. Today sort of felt like Friday. Yesterday sort of felt like hey Sherry Dunbar. Yesterday sort of felt like the day before it or day after it. Yesterday felt like Thursday. Etc. So on and so forth. Anyway, so we did a lot of setting up with industries last time. We will probably come back to that. This needs to get set up. We did the fences for it last time. And one of the other things we did was we set the settings so that I can use turf effects, which is something I'm going to need to figure out. Thankfully, Matt sent me a couple paragraphs on how to do that, because we decided we were going to use turf effects in some of these areas like this, because I didn't have grass that I liked enough to do it. Although, thinking back, I definitely could have used some grass. But, if I'm remembering right, going to here, I'm going to need to look it up. But, we'll be doing this, where it says ground, click the waffle thing, name it anything, just for organizations, effect type, turf effects. Okay. So, temp effects, grass, curved. Oh, that's not bad. Turf effects, grass. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Add new effect layer. Farm scrub. Effect type, turf effects. No, I haven't played 2022 yet. You guys will know when I start playing 2022. It's going to be a whole thing. Let's see. Toggle advanced options. Let's see. What did he say? Turf effects asset. Grass long 10 seasonal. Default value. Farm scrub. Select area. What am I doing wrong? Quick time, make sure it says turf effects. Go and click the button for ground up tool. Oh, ground up tool. Aha. Oh, I see it. I see it. I'm going to have to do something else with it, but I see it. Okay. So, grass long 17. Turf effects density default value. Okay, I like this. I actually like it a lot. It needs to be taller. So, how do I change that? Blade height noise? Oh, no, that's 0 to 1. Void water, true. Altitude range, gradient range, ground texture mask, default value. Oh, let's see if we can find something else here. I need it to be more obvious than that. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, there we go. Although it's not tall enough. especially being this far from the camera, it doesn't really make a difference. So maybe I should just be using this, and I'll use turf effects somewhere else, because it doesn't even look like anything from that distance. Alright, hold on. I also keep opening the OBS window by accident. I'm going to move this over here, to move this like that. Okay. Density, 10 meters, turf effects height scale. What does this do? Is that a little taller? Can't tell. Well, I've covered the world in grass. I'll just use this for the other ones because, I mean, I've done it now. I might as well, you know. Also, if I do this more, does the grass grow more? Oh, it does. Oh. Oh. Well then. How do I make this taller? Number of seeds multiplier. Grass long 20. No. These are all grass long something. That one doesn't seem very long to me. Nor does that. I don't know. Well, I am gonna just fill in this area with this. Call it a day. Although I can't exactly tell. Oh wait, what if I do... If I show wireframe... Wait, where is it? Show wireframe. I can see it. But yeah, this should definitely have taller, thicker grass than this. It should have the, this. If I make a greater sensitivity, does it go even faster? I'm gonna need to figure out how to make really thick grass with this. In fact, I wouldn't mind just spending some time playing around with it for the moment. So, turn off the wireframe. I need to make very tall grass. Let's see. Default value. I don't know what... Oh, when no vertex data exists. Turf effects density. Geometry scale. Oh, I can make it very tall. Right? Yes! Now that's what I'm talking about. Oh, it's so pretty. This is way better than spline grass. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew I would figure out the button. There we go. Wait a minute, what the heck? Oh. I saw the barn in the distance and it looked like a world hole. Oh, that's... We've already done that area. Let's see. We've done these three. Oh. We need to do the big area. Big area on his hip. Let's see. Alright. This makes me happy. Thank you, Matt. And all the other people that informed me that this was a thing that I could use. You know, it's starting to feel like it's really not Thursday. Usually somebody else shows up by now. But I'm going to be here doing this anyway. I'm all alone. Oh, that's weird. It also doesn't really render until you get close, which is, I guess, a problem for what we're trying to do with it, but it's not really a problem. I do wish I could see more clearly what areas I've done so far, though. But I guess this wasn't a tool designed for filling in large... Well, I mean, was it? What were they thinking? N3V, what were you thinking giving me the power, giving me this kind of power? Also, the fact that it isn't just like, oh, you click and boom, there's grass, is a good thing, but it's not a good thing for me. Because I'm trying to make sure this whole area is filled with grass. What was that, Lafayette? What's the matter? Oh, I guess I can sort of see from up here. In fact, I can see for miles and miles and miles. Are we playing with the new... I mean, I'm playing with the new grass, and by the new grass, I mean turf effects, which has been around for a while, but I've never used it. I'm still on 2019. I haven't figured out how to move up to 2022 yet. I know that it's a thing that you can do. I haven't figured it out, though. Alright, I just wanted to get rid of the big circle. Actually, I need the small circle. I need a little bit of this. Give me some grass. Yes. Okay. So, no, I'm not playing with like the 2022 Surveyor 2 features and stuff. Not yet. I'll be in 2022 soon enough. I'm going to say it just like I said it before, and I know it led me to my doom and it never came true, but I would like to finish this section in 2019 before moving on to 2022. I think that's a little bit more realistic than the alternative, or you know what, than the last time I said that, you know, finish this in Tane, because I am a lot closer and 2022 is barely coming out. So, we should be okay. I am going to need to figure out what I want to do with this, because this is amazing. This is great. Look at this grass. It hurts to look at. But I guess that's why you don't look at it up close. You look at it from over here. Yeah, I believe TurfFX is bound to the grid, but that's still really, I mean, it's a step up. I guess it's probably better if you use 5-meter grid, I would guess. But I'm sure that's something you've tried already. So, let's see, where's the farmhouse on this one? Is it all the way over here? Yeah, it is. I should probably scatter some animated cows out here. What are we doing today? Well, I'll tell you what, we're doing turf effects. And I'm enjoying myself. Let's see, we're gonna need a new one. New effect layer. Farm, oh, sorry, Frank. Farm grass. Effect type turf effects. And I want the same kind of thing, but I don't want it to be as high. Geometry scale. Let's do point. Oh, for Christ's sake. 0.25. It'll still be taller. I figured it out thanks to you, Matt. That's too tall. Oh wait, because that's farm scrub. Oh, can I? Oh, I guess I can overlap them. I assume this gets rid of it. How do I get rid of it? Oh, I assume I can only remove the layer that I'm working on. So, yes, aha. I understand now. Get rid of this. I don't want the farm scrub here. Okay, switch to farm grass. And just see how it looks. Yeah, it's fine. And if you really need to get down there to see it, maybe it's a little too fine, but... Oops, let me... Cool, now the road's covered. It's tough to judge where you're putting stuff, and I just cover the tracks with it, huh? Yep. Okay. Let's try that one again. No! Okay. Did I cover the road here with it? No. Okay. We're gonna go around the edge. And I might turn wireframe view back on. Although, it doesn't help. I still can't see what I'm doing. Come on. And we'll just do that, because it doesn't matter if we have extra. Hello. Part of me would rather be doing splines, but boy will this take less time. Yeah, that's a good point, Mason. In fact, I probably will have to do that. This is just another, like, add-on system, which definitely isn't going to be a pain in the butt to work with. Oops. Like, to get in and out of the menus already seems like a chore. I feel like I'm not placing anything. And I'm staring off into the void and it's blinding me. Okay. We're gonna turn the wireframe back off. Okay. It's just like, how tall does this grass have to be before it's noticeable? And how noticeable does it have to be before it, like, matters that we have it? Because if it's completely unnoticeable, then what's the point, you know? I guess just to say we have grass. You can pay your friends to drive your places with the right kind of grass. Alright, yeah, look at that. We got grass. This field has it. The other one doesn't have it yet, but I'll get there. I also am not worried about, like, overdoing it with these and covering these smaller areas. But let me rate cows as a future goal. I've basically succeeded on the holes in the fields thing, which is nice. Not sure if it's related, but the scale used for textures, but you can add muddy cow paths to the fields. Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking. When I add the cows, I'll probably add some paths and stuff through the fields because it makes sense, you know? There we go. Grass. I keep having to double check to make sure I'm actually doing it. That's definitely a feature that, definitely the outcome that a feature should give you. It's being unsure if you're using it or not. However, I'm glad I figured it out. I don't know how much I will be using it, but I'm glad I figured it out. Let's see. Just keep it up with this. Just keep spreading that grass around. And once we're done with these fields, we're done with these fields. And I will come back to them for cows, for the sake of cows. But that's it. They're, this area is basically finished. I've got to do the Brosley Dairy because there's nothing there. Uh, it hasn't been scenic. There are just a few buildings and no intricacy with the ground textures or anything like that. I really hope I'm erring on the side of not getting stuff on the tracks, but I'm getting stuff on the tracks. So let's come through here and get rid of it. Okay. I just did it again. And probably again. Mason is absolutely right. I just need to bite the bullet, go through all of this, and then go back and fix the tracks later. But I don't want to fix things I don't have to fix, I guess. I will figure out all the quirks of this tool eventually. But not there yet. Did I get this area of the field? Oh, hello. I activated the walk camera. I'm walking through the grass. I just need to touch the edge very carefully. Touch. If I end up with all the grass on the road, that's not a big deal. Because who's going to be looking at that? I don't think I'm going to follow through with the plan of adding invisible track to every roadway so you can drive cars around Tolbrand. But you never know. Okay, so the other thing is, it might be nice to add bush splines along the edges of the river here. Because that kind of makes sense. Some sort of splines along the edges of the river. I'm not really sure what to do with them. Well, we've got grass in the river, so there's that. Let's clear off the road. Get all these tumbleweeds off the road. Once again, can't really see if I'm doing anything. So I can't see if the grass is here in the first place. I think the nice thing that this grass did was it really obscures whatever texture's underneath it. But if you look out here, you can still see that that's a three-dimensional, there's 3 dimensions there. It's not just a flat piece of grass anymore. Which is another thing. It's small, but it adds a lot of depth. So that's good in the end. Anyway, we did that, and I think that much is I think that much is done. So I can get rid of holes in fields now that that's finished. Um, let's see. Scioto Valley grass and trees, Mason Valley shrubs. So I was doing the grass and trees in here. As you guys know, I was going along the edge and filling things in with spline and then coming through with trees. That's something that I've got to continue doing. Over here is sort of the same deal. Should probably put grass down underneath that. I need to finish Elvira Valley grain. I think I need to finish this if I didn't. Yeah. I don't have a name for this tunnel. Probably just Lionhead Tunnel. I'll put them on my list. Man, I've just been so taken by that. I wanna color more grass in places, but that's not what we're doing for the rest of the route. This I can probably do with some of the textures we used further down the VMR there. But nevertheless, I'm going to have to come through here and do my grass blinds. At least for the areas that are definitely going to end up covered in trees. Perfect is the enemy of good. And I want to make sure that we're getting through this and I'm not killing myself over the little details. Just that we have a product that we're happy with in the end. And there are parts of this route that I'm less than happy with. But as a whole, I think it's pretty nice. So, hello. Alright, let's put all this stuff in here. Put all this in, put all this in, put all this in. I don't want to not be talking, but like I'm zoned in. Like it's the opposite of zoned out. I'm zoned in. I'm just like doing this. Do you think you'll start as a route progresses to begin to start seeing a clear difference in skills, assets, features? So what would you do about that? See, I think that's already happening. In fact, I'm fairly certain it's already happening, or at least it just did, because turf effects hasn't appeared anywhere on the route before this. And I went crazy with splines in some other places, like on the olive branch. So you're going to see that difference right away. I don't know what I would do about that, aside from set aside time to go back and update previous areas. I don't think that I'm getting better as a route builder. I'm definitely getting lazier. I am not going to the lengths that I once went to in terms of just basic area and making stuff look good. That said, yeah, I've found some new techniques and stuff like that. But you feel like it's something like Olive or something like Mason Valley, there's a definite change in sort of like the detailing there. Yeah, and it will be like, oh, if you go in this direction, you'll slowly see some more turf effects and stuff pop up as I slowly adapt new building styles. Because it's not like I'm going to wake up one morning and decide, tree splines, yeah, maybe, tree splines are back in, let's do those again. And it's just, they're going to be everywhere and that's it. That's not going to happen. What will happen is I might come to a point in time where I go, this is a good idea and we should emulate it. And so then I'll be doing that. Like look up here. Should I be doing turf effects underneath these trees? Yeah, probably. It would look good. Am I going to spend the time to do that? I don't know. I don't think so. At least not right now. Maybe going forward I will. And even in areas like this, there aren't enough trees. They don't cover the massive holes in the forest. The thing that was supposed to happen with this was that you would have, oh whoops, wrong thing. You would have trees and shrubs sort of working together to prevent you from seeing further into the woods. And the more I copy paste the trees, the less dense it becomes, because sometimes things just don't come with it. And so then I end up going back and doing something like this, where I'm doubling up the tree splines to make things more dense, which doesn't look normal compared to everything else. It's also why I do things like sliding the trees off of the track instead of deleting them, just to increase that edge of forest tree density, to hide the backdrop more. And you look at something like this and it's like, oh, you know, that's neat, but you look into the woods and you know that there's nothing under here, you know? That doesn't look as good. Now, if I could clear out everything, in fact, let's do a little bit of experimentation then. Let's go, let's say over here. If we could find a relatively flat patch. There we go. You're in the stream chat. You know what my rule is, man. I've had this conversation 100 times. Okay, so if I put this down, like so. Okay. And I'll do it again. I'll flip it around 180 degrees and do it again. So now we have twice as many trees. That's a pretty dense forest. But it's not even necessarily realistically dense. It would be a little bit more even. And you wouldn't have these big holes in the canopy, because stuff would have filled these in a long time ago. So if I can move stuff around to make a consistent canopy, they'll also get rid of, or at least hide, some of that rotational symmetry that we just imparted on this chunk of forest. Yeah, see, that looks better. It doesn't have as many holes. That sort of thing. And if we can put down some sort of turf effects underneath it. So I would use the farm scrub, but I want to try something else. So forest grass. Or forest floor, maybe. Turf effects. So effect preset. Oh, okay. Curved long. Yeah, so I don't mind that. Tender decking. Yeah, that is something. Apply that. Forest floor, long grass 5, seasonal. Kind of wish I could change the color a little bit. Avoid water, true. Expansion constant, dispersal, bunching. Bending scale. So let's just do 0. Actually, let's do 0.1. Just to do a minimal amount of that, because that's a lot of moving. Blade width noise, blade height noise, random variation of blade width. Let's do 0.5. So I want some pretty random variation here. Blade width 0.05. Let's increase that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, whoops. Yeah, look at that. The only thing I'd like to do is I would like it not to be as dense, so it doesn't perform as poorly Or it doesn't, you know, dispersal, brunching, expansion multiplier, number of seeds. Let's turn that down. Um, let's see. Where's the geometry scale? Let's try 2.25. This is going to be nuts. Oh, wow, yeah, look at that. Alright, I can only say one more thing, which is taller. I don't... Let's just double this, or more than double it. Let's just do 5. Let's go for 5. Um, huh. Drowns people in grass. See, and I like this, but now I don't like the type of grass, and I wish it was more shrubby. So let's see if we can find... Oh, wheat. Well, we can use that at some point. Oh my god. Alright, well that isn't what I need, but that's kind of neat. Um, let's see. Seed 1. Oh wait, that's going to be real small? How high can it go? I don't want to find out, actually. That seems like a hell of a question. Long grass 5. Oh, that's, I think, what we had. So it's long grass 5. What about grass long 10? Okay, that's not what I need. I want it to be like a... Ooh, that's something. This looks like reeds, almost. Hmm. I almost wish it was more tufty. Let's see. Let's try it over a much larger area. Yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of some stuff that I've hiked through up here. I don't like the fact that it's... It doesn't seem to be, or well, okay, never mind. That was just a trick of the light, so to speak. It looks like it's forming rows. It isn't, but it looks like it is. So if you zoom in, you see it fills in those gaps. If you zoom out, you can see them clear as day. So that's not great, because you don't really want it to look like that. Does that happen with any of the other grasses, or is it just what I've picked? Alright, so we were on 17. Hey, I just wish I could make it a dark green, because I'm not opposed to something like this, necessarily. Who would have thought I would have opened a can of worms like this? Grass, long 9, seasonal. Grass seed 1, that's not what I wanted. Grass curved. You know, I think I'm just going to go with this. Or I could anyway. Again, it's looking like it's in rows. What if I change these to 1? Alright, it doesn't get rid of that. Never mind. That was a mistake. Change that back, because now we just have rectangular grass. Bending scale, dispersal, bunching. Gradient. Ooh, gradient range. That's interesting. Ground texture mask. Oh, I get it. No, let's not do that. Only on specific ground texture assets. That's cool. If I turn it down, I can get rid of it. Bending scale. We already did that. Dispersal. Bunching. I feel like I should be able to change these two. Yeah, just notice how it's in rows. That's not good. That makes it look bad. What if I turn this down, it'll change it. But that might just be just my settings or something. Turf effects density. Let's just do see the maximum size for the route. Okay. Hmm. Well, I don't know. This was a test. I don't like the way it's showing up like that, because when you look at it as a distance, it just looks like it has rows. But maybe, let me give it a shot, cover a wider area with it, and just see if it works. Wait a minute. It's not going to work, because this is technically a ground cover thing, isn't it? It's technically a kind of height, maybe? Yeah, so I can't copy paste this unless I want to paste the ground. And that's not good. That's no good. So I can't do that. I mean, I suppose I can if I want to fill in the area beforehand. Oh, you know what? Was I just undoing my changes here? It does look like I was. Oh no, I just undid. Let's see. Okay. There are a lot of really cool features here that prevent me from having to think, basically. But I'll clean this all up because I'm probably not going to end up using it, or at least I'm not going to right now, because, let's face it, I don't feel like going over everything right now, and this would kind of mandate me going over everything. Alright. Also, so we've talked about what to do with Doe Cliff, and I've said, like, oh, I'm not going to be working on it yet, I'll do it when I go in that direction. It's kind of a cop-out to keep me from working on it now, but we're going to keep that charade up for the moment, and I'm going to go and place more trees. And just sort of think about what I've done. Uh, think about what turf effects can do for me and how I can best use it. Because I'd like to do it as a forest floor. It definitely is a little bit annoying to work with. It's definitely kind of a pain to develop sometimes too. But it is a really neat feature. The only issue is I have to put it all in myself. I can't copy paste it. Which isn't a big deal because all I have to do is spread it around. Is that route still not finished? No, it's not. Does this look done to you? So, I don't know. It strikes me as a very useful tool if I decide to go all in on it, but that means I have to go all in on it because it wouldn't look particularly good if I'm just doing certain sections with it. Or, you know, like I said, suddenly you reach the part where I decided to use turf effects and the forest ground cover looks completely different. I genuinely think if I'm going to do this, I need to go back and redo these areas, or at least, at least fill them in. Probably never, for when I will finish the route. This has been a multi-year endeavor to this point. It will probably be an endeavor going forward for as long as I can keep this route. And if something happens to this route, then I don't know what I'm going to do. I will move on to something else. Not like an I don't know what I'm going to do, like I will be lost in life and whatever. I just mean like I don't know what I'll do next if this ends up being a bust for some reason or another. Okay. I've been using rivers and stuff as boundaries for like where I'm going to work and where I'm not going to work. And some of it is completely fair. Like I don't want to work. I probably shouldn't have filled in this tile either. But these three tiles should be kind of off limits. These three tiles should be off limits. I also need another tile over here because of this. But I'm not working on this yet, is sort of my statement. I'd like to get Elvira Valley Grain done. I know I'm not following the script at all now. I had certain things that I wanted to complete, and now I'm doing all sorts of other things instead. Just like the pioneers. Now we have that wheat turf effects, which we could probably make some good use of. I would like to find some sort of field base. Yeah, we have farmland, which if we do it like this, just comes out as strips. If I'm not whatchamacalliting. If I'm not spinning the texture, it comes out like that. Now, I don't exactly know the proper lifespan of wheat, like when you harvest it, when you plant it. So I'm going to sort of wing this, and I get the feeling I'm going to set it up, and someone's going to be like, well, the route's set in July, so why is the wheat already grown? It's like, that's a good point, but I don't know about wheat. So if I set this up like this, just to have these three different fields that are textured slightly differently, which honestly farm fields are relatively easy to take care of if you just want to do something like this. Have I ever made a BNSF yard? No. Actually, basically all of my work in 2019 has been cataloged in these streams. So, I assume a BNSF yard is the same length as a regular yard, so 3 feet, I could probably make that pretty quickly. Okay, so there, we've got 2 of them. Let's put another field in the back. Now for something completely different. Oh, I almost held it again. Now I don't know what direction I'm facing. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Let's try something else. That also doesn't look good. Farmland 7. Is this the same as we were using over here? No. Okay. I'm down with Farmland 7. See, the thing with making a modern Class 1 yard, or even a modern anything. Yeah, I was about to, yeah. Mopac, I think you and I are a little bit on the same wavelength, but I'm going to go in a slightly different direction. Yeah, their stuff is weird. Everyone's stuff is weird because so little of modern railroading isn't built on something, you know? There are a few yards that have been put together and setups that have been put together in what you might call the modern era, but almost everything dates back in some way, shape, or form. And it might not be that the actual track or track work dates back, but perhaps the size and shape of the land that the railroad has to work with is because of things that have happened to it in the past or things that have happened to its predecessors in the past. There's almost nothing you can point to that has been brought up from scratch with very little in the way of um, constraints. And that's sort of something interesting if you go to build a modern yard, and even if you're doing something like I'm doing, where it's set in what we would think of as the 50s, the railroads at this point already have such a legacy. What is a legacy? The railroads have such a legacy that you need to keep an eye on. You need to keep half of your brain on the history of the. God damn it. On the history of the railroad when you're designing the modern yard. And you can go in reverse a little bit. You can have ideas about what you want the yard to look like and then work backwards from those and find, you know, some sort of justification, which isn't the um, which isn't the worst thing in the world or the hardest thing in the world for basically anything. You can justify anything if you wordsmith hard enough, but you have to be thoughtful of, like, okay, how did we get here? So, I'd like to give a good example of that. I don't really have one on hand, but Lionhead is not a terrible example of that because Lionhead is a Y that the town is built sort of in the Y. It was a helper point along what used to be the main line of the Volga Mountains, and is no longer. It's now just it's now just a stop, a relatively small one at that. And you can tell in its arrangement. You can see that there's the foundation of, or there's an abandoned turntable on the foundation of a roundhouse. You know, they used to keep engines here, and you think, well, why was that? And it's because it was a helper point. And a lot of places along an older railroad might have been generated by the railroad itself, and you need to keep that in mind because in some respects you're going to have towns where the town was there first and the railroad was working around things that were already built, and so it might be sort of weaving through areas, maybe not literally, but in some respects weaving through areas. The station will be built in what would have been prime real estate at the time, probably, or maybe they were a little on the cheap and they put a station at the edge of town. Um, and then in other cases, you're going to have a town which sprung up around the railroad, which is going to probably be fully centered on wherever the station facilities were. Basically, no holds barred. Um, and I can get carried away with this for a minute. So yeah, Lionhead, right? Lionhead, you used to have a yard here, which you can see that there's this cleared area, um, a, a turntable with what used to be an engine house, not much else, um, a, a, a spur here that went to it, and there was probably some other facilities because you can see that the coal stayed this on top of the spur. The water tower is over here instead of in a more convenient location, which, you know, I might want to add a water tower over here. Um, yeah, and the station building over here, that sort of stuff. So, and this town was literally shaped by the railroad. It's shaped to fit in the middle of this. And these were originally buildings that were here because, you know, helper. And if we go down to, let's see, let's go to... These oceanside towns are not even the best example because they were all wiped out in the hurricane of 1878 and rebuilt from scratch. But you have a station that's not on the same side as the town, which is your first problem, which sort of indicates the town was doing its thing before the railroad was here. We are actually pretty close, Brady. Yeah, you have your downtown, which is over here, if you can even call it that. You've got another one that's over here, which is developed because of the railroad. This one clearly developed before the railroad, but it has this spur that runs to it / through it. If we go to Mason Valley, you can see that despite the fact that everything is more or less clustered in one place, things didn't necessarily get built out from the railroad. The town was here first, and the town was building over here on the site of the bleachery and expanding its residential areas, and then you have all these commercial areas and industrial areas that got tacked on later. But even still, this is a fairly railroad-friendly town. If I wanted to go crazy with it, I would have had another residential area here, but this is too swampy. Yeah, this, all in all, Mason Valley does look like a railroad town when it isn't necessarily, although the railroad did come along pretty early in its development. So, I don't have any cities that are that much older. The only one that you can really think of here is Olive, and Olive, again, sort of conforms to it, but it's one of those things where the railroad is built grade separated and splits this town in half. You have the commercial district here and the residential district here. Industrial stuff has sprung up around the railroad partially, but you can tell that there was more of a town here, and then the railroad came through. Something that I've got to think about when I'm going forward is older towns, of which there are not going to be very many. Yeah, Adams is something. Adams is not a great example for anything because it's just nowhere near the railroad tracks. But yeah, Adams is an example. But the whole deal about the interactions here, and I really should have been talking about this in a railroad facility sort of view, but I'm talking about it in a town sort of view instead, is sort of questions of what came first. And there isn't a ton of that here, but Olive is the most obvious because you have bits of an old main line that used to come through like this, down this street, through here, through the middle of the commercial district, and then they rebuilt it as a 4-track main line in this section. Or, you know, that was grade separated and such. Uh, and you have, these tracks are on this angle here because they were paralleling this. No, and this is here because it was part of it. You can see these leftovers from a point in time when certain rights of way were more important than they are now. And you've got to keep those things in mind. And that's sort of what's fun about this. You just end up going digging. The thing is, in this era, railroads were basically at their precipice, at their peak. Yes, there was some manner of, not decline, but reorganization that had happened to this point. But generally, railroads in the 1950s are railroads that have built all their things for them and aren't really holding on to a lot of, well, it used to be like this, except for the big right-of-way issues or situations. So, anyway, let me check my to-do list so we can figure out what we're supposed to be doing, because I've just gone off on a massive tangent. So, like I said, I probably shouldn't be doing these 3 tiles, which I just did one of them. And these up here, yeah, I'm probably going to leave alone. I can definitely do stuff on some of this side of the river. Just some of it I kind of swore that I wouldn't until I'm going in that direction because of the way that these tiles are going to interface with one another. But I need to stop holding myself back from actually getting work done and, get work done. So, the thing that I wanted to do was grab an under road texture. There we go. This good old ballast texture that we've used time and time again. And I'm going to need to mark all these roads like this. So this is going to be a little tedious. Thing is, I'm almost afraid to do certain things because of the wormhole that'll suck me down. But it's massive steps towards finishing the route, or finishing the section of the route, and by extension finishing the route. But they've all got to be done. Part of it is a worry that I'm going to do something that I'm going to have to undo later, or that I'm just going to end up covering everything in trees and, calling it a day and leaving a fairly boring looking palette. Especially in the directions where I have to build something. One of the things I probably should be doing is figuring Doe Cliff out. East Doe Cliff, which is going to be on the side of the river that we're on, is something of a question mark for me because I really don't know what I want to do with it. It doesn't really have a place to be super dense suburbia, but you could see it. You could see it, The thing is, in this area, you wouldn't necessarily have, like, oh, we just threw up some apartment buildings here because it was next to a train station. Even though, yeah, that might happen. But it wouldn't be as blatant and as obvious as a modern transit-oriented development. Uh-oh, this is still covered in trees, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Let's move all this. Move all that. Okay, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. I lied. For a minute, for one minute, I thought that it might have been done, but it was not. So let's get these guys off the road. So we can fill this in, and this area can be done. I'm not really going by my to-do list now, I'm just sort of going. Because I know in my head what needs to be done, at least in this area. And yeah, I might be getting carried away on things or carried off with certain little things that need to be fixed like this, but it's still a step in the right direction. And if I can finish Elvira Valley, yeah, no, the thing with East Doe Cliff is that it was supposed to be, it was at one point a fairly major shipping terminal, and that's what I need to emulate. I need to find some examples of that, honestly. I need to find some inspiration for what that is supposed to look like. So, East Doe Cliff, for a number of years, was actually the farthest the Valley Line made it from Mason Valley, because it built from Mason Valley to Mason's Landing. And that's where the steamships would pull up, and passengers would transfer onto the train, because from then on the river got a little bit too shallow for larger ocean-going vessels. So because we don't have, well, because it's 1950, we still have some of that. We still have some steamship traffic, and that is important. But at the same time, okay, I'm just trying to figure out where these roads are going. At the same time, some of that hasn't, some of that's going the way of the dyno. Now, the thing is, there isn't a lot of room for a steamship to turn around here. And so it would still be relatively small vessels that were guided up this, and they can't even get here anymore because of this drawbridge. So there are plenty of abandoned things. I just talked about some of them. But I need to get some inspiration for what that might have looked like. Oh, and I went past it. Didn't I? Did I? Yeah. It would have been relatively small boats. But, because it would have just been ferries that went up and down the peninsula's edge. But if I could think about, like, what might have been, okay. Yeah, I don't have any inspiration for this. Let's see. Let's just look at images of steamship terminals. Okay. That's actually kind of neat. I found a terminal building in Victoria. Which, yeah. Now, there probably was a hotel at one point, and then it became an apartment complex. There would have been probably, I left this area clear because I might have wanted to build some sort of development in this direction, or a farm. But let's think about this, and let's grab a road and start to draw a little bit. Not that kind of road. I want this kind of road. There we are. The other thing is, this is basically road locked. There are no major roads that lead out of here and go to anywhere. There was never a bridge across this here. Everybody effectively came in and out of here by boat. or later on, train. Which doesn't make a ton of sense, but it happens. So, all right, let me think. Yeah, but small shipments, but all large-scale operations are abandoned. So, if I put a road across the tracks here, just as a place to start, and brought it around there. So I'm probably going to want to dig out some of this here and constructed road bridge. Well, I can't put another bridge here. Maybe the abutments of a former bridge, but it would have just been a drawbridge, or it would have had to be a fairly substantial drawbridge, or maybe there was a bridge over here, which has now been supplanted by this one down here because this one serves more of a purpose. It's just that's the issue is that I didn't build a road out of here. And maybe I could build a road that goes up to Elvira Valley Grain, but honestly, getting a road up here would be kind of difficult. But these, I'm thinking about this, right? And the line was converted to standard gauge after everything was destroyed in 1970 or 1878. Now, we don't have any major ship like docks over here, which is kind of a missed opportunity, and I don't know why I didn't do that. But I guess the justification would be that there's nothing going by boat anymore, or no people going by boat anymore with the railroad having such prominence. But in 78 in 78, I'm not sure that would necessarily be the case unless it was a very like See, the thing is, I want to put some docks on this side, but it's only going to be stuff that's served by trucks because this doesn't do it anymore. There's a boat scrapyard down in Mason's Landing. The reason there's blind points in the middle of the river is because you can get tugs up and down the river with barges still, and in fact, in theory, barges would be able to go up this way, but it's ending up being too thin of a river. Or, sorry, at one point they would have been able to go this way, but they don't anymore. The canal companies are all kaput, except on the big lakes up there. So this is the part where my logic falls apart. So I'm just staring at this, and this is why I never made any headway on it. It just doesn't make sense that it exists. It makes sense that it existed, but now it's just a passing track. And, nothing's scheduled to stop here. And that would be the justification, the reason I would add, like, some sort of residential something or other is so that something stops here. But part of this was part of the idea of this was that nothing did. So I'm trying to think about what would make this. What the heck is that? I mean, I could always throw down a couple Quonset huts here and just still have it abandoned as heck, as this was used by the army during the war because it was doing nothing otherwise. Yeah, putting a flag stop here wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But I'm not sure if I like that idea. Just in general. There's nothing... Yeah. This wouldn't even get to... Here, look, we have the Ever Given. Yeah, these wouldn't even been able to turn around up here. Yeah, because if you think about this versus the river that it's sort of trying to emulate, that is... Yeah. No, that much is true. Let me just, real quick, check on a certain river that this is partially based on, which is, at this point, over 1,000 feet wide. And here, it's like, let's see, rulers. Less than half that. So I should have gone bigger on my river. For a river that you can put a barge in. But it is what it is. So, yeah, one of the things that this does is actually justify the existence of the trolley company still. But let's just see. Just looking at the stuff here. What is that? Wish I had more abandoned things. I'm sure there's more stuff in the DLS. Ah, here's your steamship terminal. I don't mind this being that. Let's see. I think I want... Hi, my love. I like this building as a steamship terminal. I don't need an airport stuff. Albany Town Hall. That's neat. I'll just put this over here in case I want it later. Alfa Romeo. Okay, I'll see you soon, my love. Art Deco office building. Well, that's neat. Farm shed. Okay, let's see if I can flatten out. Yes, my love. Sorry. I'm racking my brain at what I'm trying to do here. That's why I sound a little frustrated. Oh, gosh darn it. No, I don't want to do that. No! Yes, let's make a volcano. Okay, I've forgotten how to do terrain. It's been that long. Yep, still forgotten. So yeah, I mean, I think the easiest justification here is that this no longer is anything at all. That there used to be a sort of quayside, and now there's nothing. Maybe some things survive. Like if we grab this retaining wall and we use this, and I'll try to grab like a platform looking something or other. This side of Doe Cliff, anyway. Slide this in here. I can't figure out where my town exists. And originally it was just supposed to be a passing siding, and then it's like, well, it's right across from the town. It probably had something going on. It's like, why is it passing siding here as opposed to anywhere else? You know what, I probably don't even want to put this retaining wall here. See if I can tell a story with textures or something. Let's see. Let me get rid of this. If I can actually maybe sink this in a little bit. That's too much. In fact, I think I'm gonna rotate this like this. Although no, I don't really want to see that platform. But yeah, that probably looks the best. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I think I've got it. So there's going to need to be a section house here. There's going to need to be... There's going to need to be a lot of chain link fence. Oops, wrong button. I didn't mean to hold shift for that. Let's pull that away from that. I'm glad everyone's here to watch me flounder. Alright. So, that's fine. Oh, I need to lower this a little bit, actually. Oop, too much. Build old bridge mountains that were wide enough for a tug and barge to go through. Yeah, so over here, probably. Or at least... Yeah, like here, actually. And I'll replace that road sooner or later. But, What is this? Not what I was looking for, but, you know, I get it. What is this? Holy Moses. Okay. Let's grab the search abutment. Really, this is all I've got? Yeah, caterpillar. No, that's too small. I really don't have much. I'm gonna need to download some stuff. Hold on, to the download station. Download station. So, I need to find pillar defense triangle. No, that's not what I need. I need like an old pillar. Not like for a wall. Head bridge, ferry ramp pillar. And I'll download that just to see what it is. I bridge base pillar. No, that's too new. Memphis and East Memphis. Yeah. Trackside pillar. Orson bridge pillar. No, that's not it. Pillars. NYCTA spline, subway spline pack. Red pillar? What the heck? Concrete pillar splines. Ah, there we go. Let's download these. Sam's Bridge stuff. Yeah. Okay. So I just downloaded a bunch of stuff. Oh, Sam's Viaduct System. That's what it is. No? What is that? Is it not downloading stuff? Oh, it is. It's just taking its sweet time. Oh, it's got to download the mesh library first. Okay, then I'll get it. But this, give me that. Tie it from here down this way. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. Oh, okay. No, give me this, please. This big old question mark. Although, you know what? I'll just leave that totally up to interpretation. Just nothing left of the road. Lafayette knows someone's about to get home. Lafayette? I don't know where he went. Just to line it up right, I'm going to put this across the way. So did it download it yet? guess I'll just do it like this. Like so. Which, not really what I was going for. And also, still don't really have what I needed. But yeah, that also, those just aren't big enough. EET bridge pillar. Well, give me these two. Oh, there we go. That's more like it. And the first one's going to be, like, close to the shore here. Because, also, let's see about these instead, actually. I mean, do I like the last ones better? Yeah, definitely that's normal. Alright, so we have our former bridge. The reason we don't have a bridge here, in honesty, is just because there aren't a lot of good drawbridges available. I didn't want to reuse stuff again on top of what we already have. Yeah, there we go. I will shift the boat tracks to make sure that you don't collide with these pillars. And then I will delete this road. So, let's see. There was one thing that was here. Which would be an abandoned signal box. I would like an abandoned one. Ah, there it is. But that is way overkill for what I need. I'm going to see if I can look up abandoned interlocking tower. MTR abandoned interlocking tower. Yeah, that's good enough. I'll take that one. believe it was MTR. I was facing the wrong way. Well, that's not super helpful that it faces that way. I'll just make the road end here. So this would have managed this area. So I'm going to need like the foundation of a building, which we know how to build those. Hi.
Hi. Oh, you have pizza?
No.
Hi, everyone.
So I'm going to use this low stone wall again as the edges to the foundation of this former station, which would have been, I would say, fairly substantial.
Oh, I got you some stuff.
You got me stuff?
Yeah, I did.
Why?
Because I wanted to.
But why?
Because I love you.
I love you too, but why? I gotta try to make this a right angle. Gotta do better than my porch anyway. Okay. So, if I put this here, let's draw out the outline of a building. If I can lower it to about there. Yes. What's this?
Says I never leave Rhode Island.
I'm gonna have to put this on something. I love these. I've had a fascination with I Never Leave Rhode Island since I saw a woman wearing the shirt. Alright, there we go.
Now, I can give this to you now, or I can give it to you as a
Christmas present.
You sure?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
Why?
Because you were like, oh, I didn't get you enough Christmas presents.
Okay, fine.
Why is that an okay fine?
So really excited.
Well, then why didn't you ask? Why didn't you just give it to me? Why make things more difficult for yourself?
I'll give it to you now then. Close your eyes. Really quick.
No.
Close your eyes really quick.
Why do this? Is it more chocolates? Oh my god. I love it. I've never actually had one of these. Little Captain Kirk Funko Pop.
They had another one where he was wearing like this golden outfit.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this golden like wrap. And he kind of like didn't have a shirt on, but
I think I think I know. Oh, that's Mirror. That's the other one. That's from Mirror.
I saw that one and I was like, no, she's gonna want that one.
Yeah, Captain's chair. Well, now I've got to start the collection. Now I'm going to spend all my money on Funko Pops.
Yeah, well, they're on sale right now.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm kidding.
Well, no, they're actually not that badly priced.
Yeah, but think of all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I could buy with that money.
Okay, I gotta show you this simple book.
What? How much did you get? She hobbles too loud. Okay. So I'm gonna put these here.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
No.
I got this from my favorite show.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Vanya.
That's your favorite show?
I'm pretty sure they did, but they were more expensive.
Well, I mean, I just didn't know that was your favorite show. I feel like it could have been any number of things.
And then I went back to the Rhode Island store
Uh-huh.
for this.
You actually bought the thing?
It was on sale it went down $10 in price.
Hi, good boy. Climb. Lafayette. Yay. Oh, you only care about me because I have pizza up here. And because it means you can get closer to mommy. I just caught you. You would have fallen. You would have fallen.
But yeah, I bought it, look.
Oh, that's cute. He's just trying to get to you.
Hi, Popper! It looks bigger on the wall.
That's what she said.
Shut up. And then I bought this. Because it was on sale.
Probably. No, they can see. They can see your arm. Okay.
I got this. Sorry, I'm bothering you.
You're not bothering me. It's 10 of 9. You got back in time.
I did. The mall closed at 8 o'clock. I bought this, and Gianna bought Dylan a matching one, so we match now.
Mm-hmm. Cute.
But here's the kicker. This
What's
was on
the kicker?
sale for like $30, right? Well, the original price was like $29. Well, it was $30. It was on sale. They marked it down to $29.83.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was 25% off that, so it came to like $22. And then I had a $20 credit.
Are
at
you
the
about to tell
store.
me you spent $2 on this?
I rounded up and I spent $3 on this.
Ah.
I spent $3.
$3? What a ripoff. You should have spent 2.
I spent $3 on this shirt.
Nice.
But I mostly spent all my cash today. The only thing I used my card on was I got this ring. It's a hematite ring, and it cleanses negative energies.
Uh-huh.
And I got a carnelian heart.
Should have got a, whatchamacallit?
Not this shoe.
No, the other, never mind.
What?
I'm trying to think of something. A spinel heart.
Oh, they don't sell spinels.
Yeah, I'm sure. Alright.
Is this your dinner?
Yeah. It's not meat lovers, it's just like meat okayers. That's kind of why I made it. It was like, I don't think she's going to enjoy this as much.
So this is the bag for the store, the Rhode Island pop-up store.
Where in the world is Rhode Island?
I brought Dylan in there. I brought Kyle in there, and me and Kyle were just walking around.
Mm-hmm.
And then I brought the rest of the girlies in there, and Dylan was just like, I hate this so much. So I found out the reason why something might not be able to come.
Can I please grab this? Thank you. Alright, there we go. What's up?
Found out the reason why something might not be able to come the first night.
What's that?
Because my dad's Russell's having a party at his house.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad really wants him to come, and if he thinks that I can go, so we're never going to get the end of it.
Okay.
So he'll come.
Okay. Alright, so I'm starting to develop this area here. We've got some Quonset huts, which are also going to be abandoned. We've got the foundation of a station. Let's see if there are any just, like, foundation objects. No. I was looking for, like, let's see. Warehouse foundation. Let's see. No. So there would have been a spur that went this way. This area got washed out. This is the only appreciable thing left. There's this building that they were using as probably some sort of administrative building for the soldiers, and then the Quonset huts, and that's it. And if I can just... If I can just find some junk. No. What about rubble? Oh. That's medium? That's big? That's a lot of rubble? Where's my giant pile of rubble? Come on. Rubble's small. That's not a lot of rubble. What if I just... This is not great on its own. These aren't very helpful. Like, they're really nice assets, but I can't really do anything with them. At least not for these purposes. Everything else is going to be basically completely just decrepit. If I can just grab a couple more abandoned things. Nah, it's too nice looking. I need something to be not just abandoned, but like total derelict. Just a mess. Yeah, there we go. This is going to be out there. And I can leave some just like piles of steel here, I guess. Maybe they were gonna rebuild some of this. And widget works. Yeah. Okay, so we've gotten some distance here. Need some crossing boards. Just like old junk. Old as you like. Old as possible. There we go. In fact, I'll do it like this. I'll do it one better, which is that I'll make this section of the road gravel. They didn't even go through the effort to pave this part because they would have had to deal with the railroad crossing. Yeah, this will be the only building left standing here. What about piling? Dock crane. Dock in corner. Yeah, I'll just like leave one of these here. I wish these allowed rolling, actually. I'll just put that there, and you'll understand that it was... Yeah, there we go. Except these are way too good looking. Oh. This actually is kind of what I wanted. But it looks too good. I need a destroyed version. Share loading dock. Dock 1 cannery. Ooh, that's nice. Boatworks. Also nice. Dock 6. Hmm. Interesting. That's an object that we have. HMS Onyx. Okay, sure. Submarine. Yeah, we'll leave this like this. Yes, my love? You hungry? Well, you can't have the rest of my pizza if you don't want to eat it. I kind of thought you were going to eat there.
Well, they went to Buffalo Wild Wings, but I didn't have my medicine. I didn't want to miss taking my medicine.
Oh, baby, you would have been okay. Even if you spent like an extra hour, you would have been okay.
Yeah, but still.
Now I feel bad. Because I was gonna... I would have waited for you if I knew you were coming back.
I should have brought my medicine. I don't know why I did it.
Stop it. You didn't do it on purpose. You made it sound like you just forgot it. Or did you genuinely think like, nah, I don't need this?
No, I didn't. I was like, I got halfway here, and I was like, shit, I forgot my medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I usually take it everywhere with me if I'm going to hang out with the girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we usually take it even when we think we're going to be back, you know?
We don't even think we're going to be back in time.
I just screwed this up, actually. Yes. Yeah, of course. Should have given it to me at Christmas, though.
I know. I can take it and walk it.
I mean, if you want to, but I'm not going to do that with your telescope or anything, so...
Well, no.
Fair's fair. I got it now.
But you also do have 2 other Christmas presents.
Are you one of them? Not like that. Yeah. Bonk. I can't... What a... Just...
Christmas sweater. Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
Today, too. We're just walking around the morning.
There's some piles of bricks, I guess. Pile of rails, gasworks, coal pile. Stone pile, sand pile. The thing with like making a mess over here is just that it's supposed to be so long since anything happened. Let's just do. Yeah, hella platform, that's what I want. Industrial platform. No, not like that. Not that kind of platform. Um, oh, industrial tanks. Those are too new. Platform ramp loading platform? Oh, that's cool. Might have to use that later. Platform wooden low. No, it's too nice looking. Let's see. Trackside platform. Yeah, let's do this. Just put this platform here as like a. This is what would have been, or you know what the army put in. Yes. I have a little bit of water. Here you go. You're welcome.
I went to 9 August and I just get a couple shoes, please. Because me and Kyle tried to make it to the front, the street store that they have in there in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And they just gone.
Okay. So I don't think I'm going to be putting anything here. This is it. This is all that's left of West Doe Cliff. In fact, I'm probably going to go for some pretty thick grass around a lot of these areas. And this as like a very basic ground coating for a lot of this. Because it looks just messy. I'll come back and do some more with this in a little bit, but yeah, no, that looks too good. That looks too dry. Also looks too dry. This looks good. It'll look better once I put grass on it. Because this is all going to be just gone, basically.
It's all supposed to be abandoned.
Yeah, this whole area is. There's nothing here. Hmm? There was a bridge here. One point or another. Yeah, it's the old Jamestown Bridge. They were there for it. I was just getting demolished.
So that course of action would blow it up?
Yep.
Not yet.
It's easier to blow it up than it is to, like, dismantle it piece by piece, usually.
Hi, baby. Did you not miss me?
Oh, he missed you so much. The moment you left, it was Waterworks.
Wine City?
It was Wine City, yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna get on your level.
I know I could probably be using turf effects for this, but I'm going with what I know. It went well enough. Yeah. It's not like there was a quiz. Thank God there wasn't a quiz. I was checked out. I'm gonna download the videos that they did, and I downloaded the slideshow, and I downloaded a whole bunch of other resources. Why am I talking? Let's see.
No biting.
Bite her. Get her.
No biting. Don't bite mama. Don't bite mama.
Bite mama. Bless you. So, all grass. I should do some shrubs. No saplings or anything yet. Hi. But this area was flattened 70 years ago, so there's not going to be a lot left. Alright, give me some more spline grass. Hey, all you people. Yeah, for who? Okay. Mm-hmm. What would the occasion be? Oh, okay. Who are you getting engaged to? Oh, okay. Are we engaged now? I don't know.
Are we?
I don't know. You looked at a ring.
You weren't there to look at it with me.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just like, I have a ring.
No, I don't have that kind of money.
Well.
No, don't bite my blanket!
How about I take one of those things off the bottles of milk? You know, the ones that you peel off, and it's got the ring on it that you pull on. Hey, good boy.
I was at the jewelers, and they were like, well, we can help you design a ring of your choosing. So, because I wanted to do your birthstone and my birthstone together.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, well, instead of doing blue sapphires, we can do white sapphires. So instead of diamonds wrapped around the ruby, it could be white sapphire.
Diamonds shouldn't be anyone's birdstone. I'm gonna be honest. It's basically cheating.
Diamond is, I think diamond is Jaden's birthstone.
I think it's April. Either way, basically cheating. I'll get you your birthstone instead of a diamond. Oh, it is a diamond. Bro.
Is it?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's the interaction that one would expect.
Yeah, April is a diamond.
Yeah, see? It's cheating. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Me and Dad used to design manifested block collar like anything.
Yeah, right. Nice. Not really a quartz, though. What are you doing? Why are you doing this?
Oh wait, no, June is actually, so the correct one is January is garnet,
Uh-huh.
February is amethyst, March is aquamarine, April is diamond, May is emerald, June is alexandrite, moonstone, and pearl.
And Steven.
July is ruby, August is peridot, September is sapphire, October is opal or tourmaline, November is 16 or topaz, December is tanzanite, zircon, or
Zircon's another cop-out. What? The abandoned narrow gauge area was over by the lumber mill on the Olive Branch. It was way at the end. So, yeah, I guess I'm just going to leave this all like this. It should be a fairly large cleared area, but again, 70 years since the last major hurricane, these trees have had a long time to grow. Meanwhile, 10 years since the last major war or so, uh, this area was cleared and was going to be improved upon, and then it wasn't. Because the war ended. So, there you go. Nothing's stopping here anytime soon. Even the switch tower is abandoned. It's controlled from elsewhere. Okay. That actually makes me happy. I'm filled with a sense of pride and accomplishment. And I think I'm gonna endeavor to get the trees up to the edge of this now, and also the edge of the river, because I can confidently fill this area in. At least up to the bridge, which the bridge is its own problem. The bridge I'm probably going to end up doing grass underneath, which I can probably do that now. I've got an hour. This is what I'm going to be doing today. I don't think I'm going to be doing any of the spreadsheet stuff today. I'm just not in the headspace for it, even though I would like to. I don't know. I just don't feel like doing math right now. I enjoyed myself at the beginning of the episode with um, the turf effects, and that sort of put me in a scenery mode. One of the things I would like to do with the spreadsheets, though, is make a tab for number of cars and stuff that a yard or area has at the beginning of the run. And it can be a little bit more granular. Than what we've currently got, but okay, let's see. Okay, this is where the whole thing with the turf effects being selective based on gradient would actually come in very handy. I could have tried that here just as like a good experiment place, but I think as we go on, if we manage to get more comfortable with turf effects, we're going to be using it a lot more. You know, eventually it may supplant the splines, although Mason did point out it has its limitations. But it's certainly a more, or less problematic solution anyway. There we go. Okay. That was the slowest tail get. Turn around. A little bit hungry and you never come around. Alright. Yeah, so next time I'm planning a river with barges on it, I probably got to be like twice as wide. I'm sure there are real life examples of it being this narrow, but probably not many, and not so many that are still this much in their natural state, I would wager. Of course, I'm working right in the shadow of the bridge. Okay. Yeah, I was just zoning in for a minute. Yeah, if I could get this corner done, that would make me happy. I mean, I've got 40 minutes left, but let me grab my tools. Yeah, look how thin this forest has got. Oh, crap. I just kind of made a goof there. There we go. What do you mean? I mean, some places, yeah, they got a good bit of snow. Does it look too dense to you? It looks pretty dense to me. I don't think the tree density is going to be the biggest sticking point for people, but it's just one of those times when I feel like I've got to double it because it's been slowly lowering. Especially down here close to the tracks. I know I can hear some computers screaming in the distance. I mean, am I happy with this? Yeah, kinda. I'm not unhappy with it. It means I can... Oops. It means I can happily delete instead of moving the trees. This is an incredibly fertile area, I guess. I'll grab another section here to use that's only got partially super full trees. Oh. I seem to have made a mistake. I probably should copy this onto a different section too, instead of just doubling the tree density on a given spot. Pretty sure happily delete. I mean, I was thinking earlier, and for a long time we had like this fake idea of the Terminus Choir or the Terminus Band and Choir, and oh, my computer is unhappy with all the extra trees. So I guess I'm going to do a bit of a culling. Oh no, the bridge! No, I haven't. I built a narrow gauge route in '06. I haven't built an exclusively narrow gauge route since. Yeah, the album cover with the 4K28s. That would have been one of our... That would have been... I think it was her. That would have been our second album, I think. Or maybe third. I think... Yeah, Out in the Grapes was another one that... Then that was just for the meme, not really as like, oh, this would have been a fun album title sort of thing. But... what was the other one? Oh, I came up with... I was thinking... the first one was Bridge on the River Styx. Which is something that I made way long ago, just as like almost like a joke post. Okay, hold on. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna paste this in here to thin it out a little bit. Then I'm gonna grab this as my section. Okay, I just realized that I didn't do shrubs on this side either. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Because I did the corner I wanted to do. Taffy 3 in the Center for Us is a good band name, yeah. That that was a good one, but what I came up with earlier today was Jam Density, which I thought Jam Density would have been a good name for an album or a good name for a song even. But since I have that train good car bad picture with the train monster truck crushing the cars that I like to drop just in conversations, since I have that, I figured, oh, that would be a good album cover, and then Jam Density could actually be like one of the singles off that album, or maybe just you'd hope it's a hit song. I mean, you can't come up with these things without making them all big jokes, you know. You got to try and think about, okay, what would make an actually good song and a good song title, and what, yeah, what in that song title, or what song relevant to that title could exist that is good. And I mean, Train Good Car Bad, you know, if it's not a parody of Looking In, Looking Out, I was struggling to come up with what song that would be, but Jam Density, I'm sure that can be a song.
I don't think not.
Heck, it's called Jam Density. You know, it's part of the pun. Okay. So, let's see. We've got about half an hour. Can I wrap up the grain situation up here? Because if this gets done today, that would make me very happy. Um, let's see. Taffy 3 in the Center Force, I don't think would be in the cinematic universe of the Terminus Choir and the Terminus Band and Choir, or the Term Music. That's a totally like separate idea. But I think it was her could be a lot of like lonesome, longing, love songs, stuff like that, or not so unrequited love songs. I know a lot of the times like the name of songs come last, but it's easy to think about like, oh, okay, what could you use as inspiration? Out at Night. Out at Night would be a nice, oh, like Dire Straits sort of thing. I'm thinking of Public Investigations by Dire Straits. That's a good song. Um, or Out at Night uh, could be a good song about the Union Freight Railroad, or just the yeah, Out at Night, but it's not a song necessarily about the Union Freight Railroad. It's about the the priest that would be in the cab of the locomotive. I don't know what necessarily the albums would have as a theme, but now I'm thinking you could definitely make a song on the Boston Massacre. You could definitely make a song on basically every chapter in the railroad that came out at night could be a half decent song, like The Fire in Everett, or Pegler's, or just call it Green Machine, and it's about the Flying Scotsman coming to the USA. Um, let's see, what other railroad events and things like that could be made into good songs? Boston Massacre, Sticky Business. Sticky Business is a good one. Uh, Sticky wave. Hmm. I'm trying to think of maybe ones that would be relevant to other stuff. The Green Machine, probably been like a Dave. Yeah. Um, let's see. I'm racking my brain and thinking of like fun. I mean, the Gorge War. If we're just going with other railroad stuff, the Gorge War would could be a fun song to write. To write. Um, let's see. The Bridge Killing Bridge. Although I don't know what you would name that other than just the Bridge Killing Bridge, but uh, you just name it Float. Okay, so there's that. Oh, you know what? That doesn't even have anything under it. Round and Round would be about the Hawassi Loop. Yeah. Higher, King of the Loop.
Hi, Hopper.
There could be a song about Gettysburg blowing up the state mention. Um, okay, hold on. I'm still thinking. I'm racking my brain. Uh, I mean, it would be decent in reality to have a song about the Mallard breaking the speed record, or just the steam locomotive speed record in general. Um, pushing the limits. Yes, yes, Matt. That is exactly the kind of piece of railroad history that would be great to write songs about. Gettysburg would just be titled "Oops." I know I'm missing some stuff here, but I just want to get this colored in. Um, I'm thinking of a song about Penn Central. I have no idea what it would be, but it would just be like hell. No compromise. That's what you call the song about Penn Central, No Compromise, and it's about just the the disasters of management and stuff. Oh, the potatoes. That'd be so good. Nobody's potatoes. The No Potatoes, an ode to the banger and a rustic. All sorts of frog wars. Albion or Bust about the Wiscasset, Waterville, and Farmington. Alright, we're gonna need to come back for that. I'm not ready to do that yet. We need to fill this in with trees and stuff. So, I think I'm just gonna do the the texture manually, and then we're going to copy over a chunk of trees and delete the excess. Oh, nope, missed it. Give me the herba. This PBR grid, that seems hilarious and pointless. I'm definitely getting sloppy. I used to have a procedure for these things. The Yampa Valley Mail and the Observ Vestibule. The Yampa Valley Mail, the song would undoubtedly be titled, like, The Train to Nowhere, or Three Cars to Nowhere. That's what you call it. Oh, whoops. I just want this. An Ode to Three Men in the Shed. I have a song called The Prophecy, and it's just like a ballad about Daniel Nason. The Chatelier. The Flying Track Bar. Okay. Oh, this looked like a hole in the world for a minute. Did I get everything over here? I mean, I think so. I want to get this area done. The first thing that needs to be done is this area here. Which means I probably need the texture that I've been using for the cuts and stuff. So, like, actually this will do. He's a good boy.
Ow, that's my finger.
Spider. Eat something.
We don't have anything here.
You know, we don't. I've got 2 pieces of pizza sitting next to me. Well, then be hungry, I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. And Lafayette. Okay. Can you get up? Careful. You can do it. We have a bonus song about that manhole cover that was the fastest human-made object ever. That would be good. But that's the thing. These don't need to necessarily be about specific things. You know, I don't want the Terminus Choir to be the Sabaton of railroads as much as that would be neat. Just like uh just thinking up like what would be good, you know, album titles and stuff. It's called, I mean, I can do it in 20 minutes. It depends if you want to wait that long. Okay. Really?
But yeah.
Drunk switching. Oh, the flying switch would be a good name for a song, honestly. And I know we have the flying track bar, but we just need to make sure they aren't on the same album. Alright, give me this. Okay, there we go. We have a song called Rule G. That would do it. Are you okay? What did you just do? Why?
Because I'm an idiot.
That's a new level of impatience.
Does my next piece fit left yet? I was listening to this part, by the way.
Oh yeah? Have a little have a little tune called $400 Handcar. Just about, I don't know, about being on your own with somebody in section gang or whatever. I did. Uh oh. What did I get pinged in? Hmm. Minecraft things. I don't think this matters. Nothing's on the server, and it's a private server. Well, it's a server that we have a hold of. I feel like that's more of a problem if you don't. If you're running a Minecraft server on like your home computer, or if you are joining a server that you don't know who's running it or something. I'm not particularly concerned, but we're getting 118.1 sooner or later. So I'll investigate this in 20 minutes or so when this wraps up, but I don't think there's anything to be concerned about, at least not for us right now. There we go. But hey, distributing malware through Minecraft, that's interesting. Okay, so this side of the tunnel is done. Although I want to make sure that all of these little bits of blue are hidden, and all these bits of grid are hidden. There we go. Okay. Now for this side. Let me grab this. This is going to be our base for this stretch of track. Oh, that's too much. We actually were doing pretty well for a minute. Oop. It does seem legit anyway. Alright, I'm going to take this all the way to the bridge. And I'm definitely not going to try to speed run this. I know we've got 50 minutes left and I wanted to get this done, but we can always finish this next time. Alright. Especially here. We want to get it right instead of get it done. So, yeah. Alright. One more curve to the right, I believe. Hit the bridge any second. It's a straight section. There it is. Okay. So we made it to the bridge. So now all this has ballast. That's a step in the right direction. I need to figure out what sections need a different edge. This definitely does. Obviously that does. Stories from Trainz magazine. Oh, no, I don't want that. Okay. I kind of want... Well, I guess I'm just going to use this for now. This grass and mud. He's being pesty is what he's doing. Let's take care of the edges of this embankment. There we go. That looks pretty good. Even though it's not really the type of grass I'd want to be using right there, it looks pretty good. I can just go hard with the grass. I could shift the trees over, but it's going to be tough because I'm going to need to get in here and do texture work on the side of this because that's a pretty serious embankment. So let's go find some embankment texture that I've used before. What over here? Oh. I used a retaining wall. Pretty sure that's a bot. Oh, I was using Forest Floor Darker. I use that on a lot. No stranger to it. Nobody here should be. Alright. There we go. I will put the regular grass on the bottom here. This is why Mason's smart for putting all his trees on a layer, and I always just forget that that's the thing I can do. I should have done it a long time ago. But I have a much better understanding of layers now, and I mean, we've been playing around with them a little bit in terms of railroad stuff and what layer cars go on, etc. I still think we have a little bit of a conflict between what's going to go on the seed layer and what's going to go on the auto layer. It's looking pretty good. I mean, you tell me. I'm using thicker grass on the sides now. At least on one side. I'm going to grab a different spline from over here. This area I'm pretty happy with. Lionhead Colliery is going to be one of those places that we need to set up. So yeah, sorry for the spreadsheet fans, there's going to be none of that today. I was just focusing on getting the scenery done because I am eager to get this banged out and release a version in 19 and then move on. Baby, look at him. Especially if 2022 breaks stuff, which it doesn't seem like it will. I'm going to wait a little while just to see if anything has to get smoothed out over there. But I've seen some people playing with it, and it seems pretty good. Alright. There we go. Now we need to get this part done. I'm thinking I will grab the stuff from over, all the way over here actually. Even though it used to look a lot better. We still need to do the detailing on the grain place itself, but see, look at that. It's all like weird and shiny now, and that's not great. I don't know what happened to this texture. We need another good cut material. That's cool, but it's not what I'm looking for. Deep cave rock face. That looks like something I would have used on the Tamarill's Vale and Anaconda. Donner Canyon. I mean, the stuff I was using wasn't bad. This is what, photorealistic texture? I mean, they all kind of are. We can cover this in grass. At least a minimum of grass. But that's a pretty nice cut texture, if I'm going to be honest. It's always tough, because since the textures get all stretched out on the slopes, it's tough to find one that really works, that really looks good. But I actually like this one. I'm probably going to use it a lot. Meanwhile, give me the forest floor darker for these sections. And honestly, this can be done with, oh, where was the thumbnail picture taken? Oh, we can go over there in a minute. It was on, I think, Deer Run on the VMR, over towards Olive, or just outside of Olive. I feel like one of the big problems that people run into and end up making routes that don't look real, and not like I'm an expert in not doing this, but going into an idea that you want to build, but without any like real knowledge of what you're trying to build and what that really looks like. I feel like, I'm building a cut here, and if I really wanted to do it right, I would have honestly looked up similar cuts, or at least ones I know that are near me that I've seen and that, I should have a feel for by now, and just looked at them, figured out where the grass starts and ends, where you can really see the rocks and where you can't. And there always becomes this problem with the sense of scale and stuff like this, where you're looking at it from this angle and it looks differently when you're on the ground, it looks differently when you're driving a train, and you don't know necessarily how that might translate from real life, what will make it look good. In real life, would there be these tufts of grass that are sort of climbing up the sides? I don't actually know. It seems like there could be, it seems like there might not be. Maybe it depends on a lot of things, the climate, the steepness, what kind of rock it is. And you could go into a hell of a rabbit hole that I never have, which is just the geology of your railroad and what building techniques they would have to employ, whether the people that were building your railroad were more likely to build cuts or more likely to build fills, more likely to use this kind of material versus that. You could go for something like Proctor, Vermont. Gloria and I have been there. There's a marble quarry there, and there's I was talking about Proctor, the place with the marble museum. Yeah, and they have a bridge in town that's just straight built out of marble because they had it all there. It was easy to come by and it was cheap because it was all right there. And you have to when you're building cuts like this, you can think about, like, okay, is there a lot of dirt on the surface? Then they're going to be digging through dirt. Is there a lot of stone very close to the surface? Is the bedrock very close? Then they're going to be hammering through bedrock really soon, and all your cuts are going to have exposed stone. Whereas you can have a cut like this, which is just mostly exposed dirt and grass. And you can have either. It's just, what look are you going for in a given stretch of the railroad? And right now I'm using this grass here, partially because it's just easier, but partially because maybe that section of rail has a lot of dirt there, or maybe that section of land has a lot of dirt underneath it, I should say, which is totally reasonable. There's no reason that wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen as much on areas with heavy slopes. On areas with lighter slopes, you'd be more likely to get pileups of dirt and stuff like that, as over the centuries, all sorts of organic matter would pile up and not sort of fall away. Whereas if it's on a steeper slope, you get more rain action that's washing your dirt off. like to think about the Appalachians in New Hampshire and how a lot of the mountains there are basically just big piles of boulders that were deposited by glaciers, hundreds of or tens of thousands of years ago. And, underneath that somewhere is bedrock that got pushed up and shifted to form the Appalachians, but that's not what the top of it looks like now. If you go to the top of Mount Washington, it's just a big pile of boulders, the whole mountain, basically. It's kind of crazy to look at, but that's what it is. So I'm going to texture into this. I keep looking at the clock like I'm at school. Like I want to have this done, but at the same time, I'm pretty tired today, and I don't know why. I'm in the... What?
Chicken.
Is that because you were seeing a chicken?
Yeah.
Okay. I really had no idea where that was coming from.
Chicken. God is
What?
God is good to be home.
Oh. You said God's gonna be home.
I said God is good to be home.
I know what you said. That's just not what I heard the first time around. Hi, good boy. Hi. I know. Hi. Hi, pain in the butt. Hi, Lafayette. He's like climbing on me. He wants love and attention and affection. Alright, let's put some grass along here, and we can finish up the texturing underneath the farm next week. But with East Doe Cliff getting done, and I think I've been accidentally calling it West Doe Cliff, but north is that way, so this would be East Doe Cliff. With that being done and this getting done, we're taking some massive strides. All right, let's go over here real quick. If we go, okay, here's this little trestle. If we go this way through Jefferson Cut, no, this is Ashbury Ranch. That wasn't Jefferson Cut. This way. There's that little section. Here's where it was taken. This is a bridge on the Volga Mountains. It's one of the first major bridges outside of Olive in this direction. Actually, was very happy with this bridge, which is why I made this the thumbnail. So I did kind of go nuts on the riverbank here. It looked better in the older versions. Also, it looked better in the fall, but there's that. And there's the power lines. Here's this road. It's one of those things where I was like, oh, I don't have a road that connects these places. I should probably do that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Under Construction. I know it was a lot of going, I don't know what to put here. But finally, we ended up putting down what's left of East Doe Cliff, and frankly, I'm pretty happy with it. So, I'll see you next week. See you as the Admiral, signing off.